But let's move on, fellas. I want to get into the All-Star reserves was announced a couple of days ago. Um, as y'all see here, of course, the top five for both the East and Western Conference are the starters. But the seven for the rest that got picked up were Curry, Anthony Edwards, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Towns, AD, Devin Booker, Paul George. And for the East, we got Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, Bam, Paulo. Paulo made his first appearance. Congratulations to him. Julius Randle and Jalen Brown. How y'all feel about this list?
Where Trae Young at, man?
Where he belongs.
My boy Trae been balling, man. Trae Young.
I definitely think he got snubbed. I wanna pull this up too. Off of this list here, who y'all think should have made it, and who would you guys replace?
Şengün or Fox should be an all-star in the West in the reserve for probably Paul. I want to say Paul George for Şengün. I don't think the Clippers should have two players, but then again, based on winning, if I'm going to be consistent for this topic, winning matters too. So I'm not really mad about the West. I wish Trae Young got in, but I don't know who I'm going to place him over.
Wait, go back to the list real quick. Man, we got LeBron. Man, LeBron James ain't, man, yeah.
He got in on fan vote, so that we can't even discuss it.
We all know LeBron James gotta be there.
But he got the numbers. His numbers is not there.
But
he got in on fan vote.
Before we attack the GOAT, let's talk about how Trae Young and De'Aaron Fox are like averaging more as 4 and 5 on point guards, more than Tyrese Maxey, Damian Lillard, Jamal Murray. Like, it's a couple people up there that they should have been over.
Is it? Dame averaging what, 25, 26?
Dame averaging like 27.
Dame averages 25.1.
25.
27.
Okay, yeah, Trae Young averages.
So a basket. That ain't much of a difference.
Trae Young has more assists.
He's the main. He has a higher usage. So, okay.
De'Aaron Fox, 27.1, more assists than Dame. But as far as East, the point could have been made for Trae Young being above. So I guess like fan votes. But
I don't see how, though, because he has one more bucket than him. He got more assists. And Dame's numbers are similar to Fox. And he's the second option.
Who has more assists?
Trae.
Trae Young averages 11 assists per game.
And they're below, and they have a worse record. Now, I get it. Dame is playing with Giannis, so obviously that's going to affect winning. But I think that's where it came down to, is the winning. Now, I do think Trae's going to get in because Embiid's not going to play. I don't think Randall might not play. I think the Knicks might just say him out. So, what's his name? Adam Silver's going to have to make the adjustments. I do think they should put in two reserves based on the position that they're losing. So I think they should put in. Can we get the snubs list back up? No, someone else I thought should have got up there from the East. Jared Allen would be a good name, but I don't think it was him. It was someone else I was thinking about.
Don't put me in no All-Star game. I see that.
Nah, I'm not. He would deserve it, but I don't want to see him. There's a person I can't think of. There's a person I mentioned before we got on air in the chat that was forward that should have been in. That's from the East. I just can't think of his name because it's not on that picture. But Trae probably will get an offer injury replacement. But
2 years in a row, averaged 26, 27 points a game and double digit assists. Sorry, and I'm shocked. Kudos
to winning.
Yeah, and I don't disagree.
Man,
if I was to go ahead, Dre.
It looked like on the East it was about winning. On the West it was about who they like, man.
Now LeBron and AD is different because one, there's not that many forwards.
Stephen Curry.
He's a guard.
Stephen
Curry. He has the fan vote like LeBron. So I knew they was gonna get it off the fan vote.
The fact that De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis isn't on there is kind of wild to me.
I don't think Sabonis should have made it though. So I'm not mad.
20 and 13? No.
But who you replacing for that, Ace? And the forward and the guard position right now, we have Curry, Anthony Edwards. For bigs, we have Carl Anthony Towns, AD.
Forward, those are forwards. So out of town, you probably won't say Towns, but Towns, George, Kawhi.
If we take a win into consideration, I'm taking Davis off.
So if you win, you have to have 2 players up there. Is that a rule now?
No,
it's not a written rule, but it's been a kind of rule the league's been going by.
But that's
he's
why
not having a better season than AD.
He's not. But if we take a winning into account, the boys ain't winning. So I could.
But I do know coaches vote for the reserves.
Sacramento is winning.
That's what I'm saying. So if Sacramento's winning and they losing, I'll take Anthony Davis off.
I don't know. It's hard to have AD off that list.
So I'm not a fan of all this fan vote, media vote.
Well, the fan vote, just to clarify.
So who should vote?
To clarify, the fan voting only counts towards the starters. So that's why I was like LeBron. It's kind of like the little outlier, and Curry was going to be outlier, even though the coaches voted him in, because Curry's typically starting and voting based on fan votes and numbers. But LeBron and Giannis, even though we know Giannis deserves it, just speaking of those two as the number one to each conference, they're going to be outliers because of fan votes. The starters are going to be outliers. So, yeah.
De'Aaron Fox
reserves is voted in by coaches.
Top 10 in scoring, and he couldn't even get a.
But who are you taking out for De'Aaron Fox?
You got Edwards, you got Curry, you got Booker.
Who are you taking out for De'Aaron Fox out of those guards?
You can't.
I'll take Edwards out.
You can't take him out.
They're arguably the number one seed in the West right now.
And the best defense in the league.
De'Aaron is averaging more than Edwards
by a bucket.
A
basket ain't much of a difference.
That's a game.
25 to 27.
One basket can make a whole game change.
Carry on. What about the assists? Because there's not much on the assists either.
Well, who's up on the assist?
I'm assuming Fox is up probably like an assist or two based on the decimal point. I know Ant's averaging 25 and 5. I know
De'Aaron averages more assists, more points. Yeah, they're up there, but if that's the case, all right. If that's the case, winning and fan votes get you 2 spots guaranteed. I guess based off the logic I'm hearing from this chat. Paulo Banchero, they're down right now. What is he averaging to be?
He's a forward position though. That's why he's a forward.
There's not that many forwards in the East, and they're also going. Another thing we haven't even discussed, which is why it's hard to get AD off the list. In my opinion, they're also going off of what you did to start the season up to this point.
Oh,
so to start the season, the Lakers were one of the top 4 teams in the West.
That's fair.
Orlando was a top 3 seed at one point, if I'm not mistaken. So that matters too. And the Kings have been shaky kind of all season. Now they have at this point, they've been winning more than the Lakers, but it's tough. Atlanta hasn't done anything this year.
The same argument you're making for saying that's like me putting Pascal over Banchero.
How? Toronto hasn't been doing anything.
That's a bucket. There's a bucket difference. It's the all-star, not the team. Like at one point we got to look at that individual.
Exactly.
So how do you have Fox over Anthony Edwards?
Hold on, no, don't even
individual. We're not going team. If I have Fox over
better.
Well, let me explain myself and then I get to it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna pick you, then I gotta go. Go ahead.
If we're going off of the individual, you can't say that De'Aaron is averaging more points, more assists, and then be like, well, why should he be over it? He's averaging more. He's doing more for his team.
You think he's doing more for his team than Anthony Edwards?
He averages more.
No, do you think that he's doing more for the Sacramento Kings than Edwards is doing for the Timberwolves?
Who has more of a complete cast? Who has more help?
That's not. I won't stay out of it.
I mean, it's equal in my opinion.
All right.
No, it's not. But it's not equal. But that wasn't my. This isn't my fight. But because my fight was the Siakam and Paulo thing, because that was crazy.
Wow.
But Minnesota has a better team than Sacramento, in my opinion. As far as how everything fits, De'Aaron has to do more because their defense is not as elite as Minnesota's. But that's kind of go back to what Ace said, coaches coach, so owners own, and they put a better team around defensively for Minnesota as Sacramento did for offense for the Kings. But that's neither here nor there.
So you're saying Sacramento doesn't have an equal team with Minnesota right now?
Okay.
No.
Let's go down quickly. You have I'm going star for star. Ant-Man, Fox, Sabonis, Towns, Gobert, Malik Monk.
And the boys do got Michael Conley over there
That's it?
with veteran leadership.
Gobert's about to win his 4th DPOY in the last 6 seasons.
Player for player.
Uh-huh.
Who?
Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray's at the 3. Right, he plays the small forward. Matchup against Jaden McDaniels. That's a toss up because you're getting the strengths from opposite ends. Like Keegan's offensive strengths overlaps Jaden's offensive strengths. But if you watch the games and you watch Minnesota's defense, Jaden is a far better defender as what Keegan is. So it's kind of like flip flop.
Trey, man.
That's a toss up.
Just say, man, Sabonis ain't going for 60, bro. He don't got that bad Conti Towns guy, bro. He don't.
And Sabonis don't even play the 4. He plays the 5. So who's that 4 man? Harrison Barnes?
I mean, it sounds like they're only a mismatch by one position.
No, okay. I think Barnes is at the 3 with McDaniels.
Everybody got their own opinion.
It's 2.
Sacramento averages more points as a team than Minnesota.
Yeah, because that goes to what I just said. Because Sacramento is built on offense, not defense.
Minnesota is more balanced.
Exactly. They have the number 1, if not the top 3 defense, and they can score, which is going to translate.
It's easier to get the production when you have a well-balanced team. I'm out here getting it out the mud with what we got, and I'm happy.
So you basically in other words, you're blaming. You're taking away from Ant because he has a better.
I'm not taking away from him, but at the same time, if this is the all-star, if this is individual. Let's go up the individual instead of the team.
And I'm
success.
glad you said that.
If we just took the team name away and we looked at the stats on the paper and went like that, the game would be different. But at the same time, you have to account. It's not that their fault, and I this is the same argument earlier. It's not their fault that the team is constructed well. However, we had to appreciate that if you switch De'Aaron Fox and Anthony Edwards, they'd probably be number 2 and number 1. But if you put Anthony Edwards on that Sacramento team, you think Sacramento will be that high in the standings?
Yes. I think it's the same with Fox, although they're gonna take a dip because Fox is not the defender Anthony Edwards is. He puts in effort. He's not a slouch on defense, but he's not Ant-Man on defense. I'm glad you said also as individual because I gotta cook you on this because I ain't forget and I gotta get out of here. You mentioned Pascal with the Paulo thing. Pascal is giving them 22 and 6, right? With 5 assists if you want to round it up short. Toronto wasn't winning at all this season. Paulo's numbers is just around the same. If you want, I'll look them up. But Orlando has been winning, and he has been clearly 1 or 2 best player on our team because people don't mention this man, but Franz Wagner is a dog. I don't know why he don't get enough respect and mention. But Paulo's averaging 23, 7, and 5. So the numbers are similar, and his team's been winning. So if you look at individually, Paulo has been way more impactful for his team than what Toronto is.
I mean, that's what I was saying. I was trolling as far as the fact of Paulo is higher than Siakam, but De'Aaron is higher than Anthony Edwards. And you say they've been winning. They won a handful of games more than Trae Young, and he's been outscoring all these people we've been mentioning. But we're not going to get into that right now. That's just my opinion. I feel like it's that we're going off of winning, and to not have De'Aaron, who is top 4, top 5 scoring in his own position. But I mean, I guess that's just the beast of the West. We're going back to East versus West, and we're just going off of like that. And that's how I feel. But everybody got their opinion. Everybody's entitled to it. I just feel like even if you couldn't have Sabonis in there, to put De'Aaron and not even have him as a shooting guard or point guard or something like that, somehow mix it in. But it is what it is.
Interesting. We could talk about the rookies and the sophomores real quick. Just get into it.
Yeah, I don't have much to say on that. I'm gonna be quick with it. It
What
won't be
about-
I need
like
to
this.
find who's in the starting lineup for those
Hey
teams.
man, put me on the big screen. Because-
Wembanyama, you know that he's starting. That's the only rookie.
Wemby and Chet.
Put me on this big screen because there's a reason why I got this picture right here for today. Why I don't care about this rookie and sophomore game, man. How you have a rookie sophomore game without these two men in it? Why is Asar and Amin Thompson not in this rookie sophomore game?
Maybe the
What are
one
we
on the
doing?
Pistons, but I don't know about the one on Rockets.
Hey, when Amin came back and he was getting minutes, he looked really good. I just don't understand. Like, you got Bilal, I'm botching his name. The dude that played with Wemby in Washington. He's not better than Asar. Like, Asar is one of the best rookie defenders in this draft, in last year's draft, and I don't see how he's not in this game. But and then Cam Whitmore is not in this either. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the NBA doing, man? I don't care about this game.
I definitely think at least one of the Asar brothers should have been there. I definitely think one of them should have been there.
I got the rookies winning. I think the sophomores are going to hold their own, but I think at some point, I think the rookies are going to just try to do much because there ain't going to be no defense being played.
Rookies are winning, of course.
I wouldn't say of course because that boy Jalen Duren's on that sophomore team. But I think no defense will be played, so I think Wemby could go off, him and Chet.
It's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting.
Do we have the list of the roster?
I'm trying to see if I can find it now.
No worries.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. Who's on that sophomore team? I think it's Keegan Murray. Who else we got over there? Let me see. I know
Keegan
Chet.
Murray, Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey. I'm going blank on another person's name. I can't think of his name. But yeah, they got a decent squad over there too. But Chet is a rookie technically, in their eyes, because he didn't play last season.
Yeah, that list was kind of crazy too. I'm trying to look for it now, but I think the rookies had more plays than the sophomores
Yes.
this year. They could easily slid Chet over there with the sophomores and could have put in one of those Thompson brothers in there. But yeah, we shall see, man. We shall see. We got. Let me see what we got right here. Keontae George, Jordan Hawkins, Scoot Henderson. We have Chet.
Skeet Henderson? Skeet Henderson?
Skeet.
It's Scoot. It's-
I think
my bad.
I think
I
he's
heard something.
too. We can't forget about Brandon Miller. We ain't bring him up, man.
Yeah, he's been solid this year. I like him. Keontae George is a sleeper. I said that when he got drafted.
Of course, we got Wet Bananas in there.
What bananas is crazy.
Wembanyama.
You fouled for that one. Wet bananas.
The rookie got a pretty nice squad. For the sophomores, we got Paulo making an appearance in there, which is kind of crazy. Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, Walker Kessler. We forgot about
That's what I was thinking of.
Benedict Mathurin from Indiana.
Him. He's another one I was trying to remember. Him and Kessler was the two I couldn't think of.
Chet and Wembanyama is gonna cook like the new age Twin Towers, like nothing we've ever seen before.
Shoot, don't be surprised to get put in the basket by Duren.
They're gonna do their thing, man. But when you got guys like Paulo, he could score on and do whatever he wants on anybody on that court. You got Benedict Mathurin that could create his own shot and do anything on that court. You got Keegan that could get a basket anywhere on that court. And don't forget about Shaedon Sharp.
Yeah, I wish he was just hurt so much this season because he would have been doing a lot more this year in Portland. Well, I think in terms of winning, no, but I think he'd have been fun to watch. There's some sleepers in that game that could